I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so let me screen share. Can you guys see my SolidWorks goodness?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go to sketch. I know it's hard. Let
Start
me,
new part.
yes. Hold on, let me see what I actually have here first. Uh, oh wait, that's right. No, I do have an extra folder. That's right. Uh, School, and then SAE, and then is it chassis? Do I have another folder? Yeah. No, SolidWorks goodies. Weldments and stuff. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna make or already made a separate folder um for my weldments to go into. I would love to save it to where it needs to go, but usually 8 times out of 10, SolidWorks does not let me save it to its own installation files. So I need to save it separately and then outside of SolidWorks, copy and paste it over to the installation files. So that's why I have two of these open. And then this one's gonna go to, I'm not sure if it's the exact same for y'all guys, but is it? It's usually not SolidWorks data. It's at 86. Or is it just regular? SolidWorks Corp, SolidWorks, Lang for language, English, because I think we all speak English. Weldment profiles. This is your standard stuff right here. These are the two default categories, right? And then this is one I made for me. And then you need to make a subfolder because there's 3 levels of options in the weldment menu, like that you actually go to. So if you don't make another subfolder, it doesn't work correctly. So I just made one for round and square, not that big of a deal. And I have all of these set up. You know what? Maybe I'll make what's the next one we have? I think it's a 35. I'll make a 35 next. And then the square is just 1 by 1 by 1/8 inch. But what do you guys want to try first? The round tubing or the square tubing?
Doesn't matter. I missed what you went. Did you go into program files, SolidWorks?
Yeah. Language, English.
See, I got CircuitWorks, SolidWorks 2020, and then SWNet
It should
in
just
the
be SolidWorks by itself.
Lang. Okay, there we go. English, and then sheet form weldments right there.
Yeah.
All right, and then add folder set. You said.
Yeah, I just did SAE tubing, but you can do whichever you'd like. And then you need to add a subfolder. And so after those 2 folders, that's where your actual files get saved. Let me see, drag these down a bit. Okay, I'm going to minimize this.
Round and square tubing.
Okay. I'm going to go on ahead a little bit, make a circle and another circle. So all of the outside diameter tubing on the FSAE car is 1 inch, right? It's not that big of a deal. Oh, I like to go up here and change. This is a personal thing. You don't have to do it. Let's see. Where is it? Is it display? Oh, document properties. My bad. Dimensions. I like to change all of mine to 3 digits at least because when we get to 8, it will populate the 3rd digit. And then you don't need 4 digits until we go to 16ths, which usually doesn't happen. And then the tubing, the second dimension is always known by its wall thickness. So instead of defining the circle again, we'll define the wall thickness. For this, we're going to do, I think it's 35 is the next size down, which we use just for, I believe, the floor and sometimes other just stuff that we need a tube there to mount something to, but it's not super structural. So we got that. Okay, we're going to exit the sketch. This is really weird. Make sure that sketch is selected right here. All right. You can go to save as. Now I'm going to try to do it the program way. And then when it doesn't work, I'll be like, oh, look, I told you it doesn't work. Right. That way you guys will believe me, not call me a crazy guy that just loves to make problems for himself. Let's see. Weldment, SAE, around. Then it's got to be a library feature part, usually the second one down, SLD, LFP. And then I just try to keep all of my formatting the same, but you can type it however you want. Okay, so it should be able to save, right? But usually get this issue. Would you like to save in this folder instead? Oh, sorry. And the there folder, that's like the beginning of my username for Microsoft. So it wants to save in like a public folder. And I'm like, no, that's dumb. So I'm gonna navigate back to wherever your folder is that you want to save it, just a temp folder or whatever works for you. I have mine kind of way down in there. And right here. Okay, so that should be saved. Now I'm gonna open both of my windows. The right side is my custom folder that is outside of SolidWorks, and the left side is the installation files of SolidWorks. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna do a copy, and I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna do a paste. Now I do need administrative permission for this, but 99% of the time it works and it just acts correctly for me. So that's usually not an issue. Okay, so now the weldment's in there, but we need to access it, right? So I'm just gonna make a sketch off of this and see if it works in the XY plane, but that's just me. Got a line, that's good. I need to do the blue to exit sketch. We need to do weldments, and then we'll go over here, structural member, select the line, and then look, our 35-inch wall tube is there. A library, oh, this is a, whoops. This is the wrong type of file to be drawing in. Are you following me so far, Nate?
I've got my outer diameter of the circle. I missed what you said for the inner diameter. 0.035.
So you're not specking the inner diameter, you're specking the wall. So you're gonna click on both circles and it will try to define that wall thickness for you. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Okay. So I'm just gonna draw a line here, do 5 inches or whatever. Then I will exit my sketch. And if there's a blue thing over here, if you've been 3D sketching, you got to click that to exit everything. Go to weldments, structural member, and then our 35 is in there. And now we can just do that. And
How
got a
did
35.
How'd you get the center section to disappear?
What do you mean?
So I've got two light blue or a darker blue circle, and then the light blue circle that's the wall thickness.
Let me make sure you can share your screen. Hold on.
Oh no, yeah, maybe.
Okay, go ahead and try it.
It went away. Let's see where share screen. So that's how it should look, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then as long as you had a dimension on that gap, you should be fine.
1 inch outer and then 0.035 for this.
Yeah, for the spacing.
Okay, and then save it.
Save as
a
library part. It's
lid.
usually, oh yeah, yours is over there. Okay. Yeah, and then just call it whatever you want to call it.
And then you said save it to your made up folder, correct?
Yeah, just any other folder that's outside of SolidWorks.
Okay.
Oh, what did that say?
I don't know. I just clicked it
Okay,
off.
usually that pop-up is bad.
Let's see, did it save it?
But no, it'll save it, but then it just won't come out correctly. But you can just go ahead and try it anyways. Yeah. Okay. So here's what happens. Go back to your SolidWorks thing, the actual program. Do save as again and just name it something else, slightly different. Oh, actually, wait, sorry. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Go back to your sketch. Where's your sketch? On the left side.
I have no idea where it went.
Okay, yeah, and that menu, you gotta
Oh,
find it. Is there, if you right click on it, can you click show, maybe?
Go to? Nope, cancel.
That's weird. Did it just disappear?
I found it once how to center it in your frame. Now I don't remember how it was.
I think if you just press like, nope, that's not it. Don't press that button. That's also not it. That's also not it. That's a good question.
You know what, we're just gonna,
If you just hold your middle
like
mouse button and kind of wiggle around, you can change your view.
yeah, it's like it erased it.
That's weird. You might have to make another one. That pop-up usually happens, like I said, when you don't have that sketch selected on that menu on the side. And then for some reason it doesn't save properly.
I'm just gonna make a new one.
All right.
I'll stop sharing so you can.
So I made mine. Cody, were you able to kind of follow along? Or do you want me to kind of repeat it for you?
No, I kind of got in late. I'm just gonna watch. I've been taking notes. See
Okay,
if I'll
cool.
figure it out.
So this is for weldments.
Share.
It's basically tubing profiles. I think you already knew that.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Antonio?
You're gonna share this recording, right?
Yeah, I'll upload it again to that YouTube playlist I have.
Oh,
Because I uploaded some stuff from their last semester, but I don't think I ever uploaded a tutorial for like the front section, the back section, and the tubing. So I know that's missing. And then did you want to go ahead and try it on your own? I'll walk you through it, kind of. Like without seeing my screen, I mean.
oh, me?
Yeah.
Sure. It's just I didn't make my folder.
Okay, just make one like literally anywhere. I mean, documents, download, 3D objects. I don't know if I would try a flash drive, but yeah.
So I don't have to go through the programs.
You mean through like SolidWorks, the drop-down menu?
Yeah.
Not yet. You just make a separate folder that you're gonna store the part in when you save it the first time. Did you make the folder already?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and start a new SolidWorks thing. It's a new part. And if it helps, I can share my screen, but you kind of need to have 3 windows open besides Zoom, so it might get kind of crowded. Is my microphone making like wind noise? What'd you say, Cody?
It's making wind noise.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's all right. It's not really like annoying to me or anything. It's just you just hear it.
I got my fan on low. Or actually, Antonio, did you want to share your screen so I could follow along, and then maybe Cody can see it again?
Yes.
Yeah, so just make it any plane. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just 2 circles.
She's at metric, not inches.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. You can go ahead and make your second circle and then just change it. IPS. I know a lot of people don't like standard, but I promise you, if you can do both, it actually makes your brain a little bit sharper. And then you can lord that over the metric only people. Like, look, I speak 2 math languages.
you wanted the measurement of the outside one.
Yeah, the
right?
outside diameter is 1 inch, almost always in SAE. If you just click that blue 233 again, it should go ahead and click escape
Okay.
Double
and then click it again. Do escape and then double click.
It's not working.
You need to have that thing off of your mouse when you click it, not when you double click it. So like,
What do you mean?
like hit escape and then go, there you go. Okay, now try double click. Interesting. Your thing just hates you, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, I guess. Just keep clicking it
Slow
until
computer.
a thing pops up.
Maybe. Huh. Let me see. Why is it all the way over here?
Wow, yours really doesn't like you. That is interesting. Let me try it on my screen and see how it does.
Are you using a mouse or like
Yeah,
a
I'm using a
keypad?
mouse.
No, that's weird. Because I started SolidWorks. I started SolidWorks with just the little keypad on the thing, and it was like annoying. So I went and bought a mouse.
Actually, let me see. Let me
Do
just
you
close
have a
this.
pop-up going somewhere else on your screen, maybe?
No.
Because when that little dimension window pops up, that's technically like a separate window, and sometimes it doesn't pop up in the delivery screen.
Uh,
But you can always try again later. So I'm trying to think, what else did I have for you guys? Oh yeah, time for me to share my screen again. That's okay with you guys? So, do you guys want to talk about the project I'm going to assign to all of you, or about the distortion model that I did?
Let's start with project.
All right, so let me find the rules. Let me open the third one. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. We're gonna go here, and then organization, and then 21 rules. There we go. Okay. There's technically like a mini project that's kind of attached to this, but I'm just gonna do it, or I need to design it by Saturday, so I won't bug you guys with that. It's gonna take me like 2 minutes to do. So I'll give you guys the cooler version. Let's see. So we have all of these aspects over here, right? For regulations, vehicle, chassis, blah, 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 vehicle and driver equipment. So I actually did not read this, but there's technically a project that's kind of for chassis that's in here. And we're gonna find it. Zoom that out a little bit. So the jacking point is what I'll be making in SolidWorks by myself Saturday. It's just like a little tube that sticks out from the back of the car somewhere that you can hitch a jack into. And it's just this wide, round, like 1 inch bar. We're just gonna stick a 1 inch bar there with some tabs. Not that complicated. However, this is the fun part. Push bar must have a removable device. So it's not part of the car, it's an accessory you use to push the car. All right. 2 people standing erect behind the vehicle to push the vehicle around the competition site. It is capable of slowing and stopping the motion and pulling it rearwards. Please remember that I didn't see this. This does not include turning. This device does not need to turn the car, just forwards and backwards. And I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to turn the car? And I read it like 4 days later, like, oh, I don't need to turn the car. Okay, that's fine.
But
We
it
must
says capable of slowing. Does that mean it needs to have brakes, or just if you pull backwards on it, it doesn't come off?
Yeah, it's just like if you have a dog on a leash, you're like, hey, calm down, that kind of a thing. This is not going to be like a rope. Obviously, it needs to be solid. That's why it's part of the chassis team and not like the dog team. We must also have a fire extinguisher ready and must accompany the vehicle when using the push bar, so we can have somebody carry it, or we can be cool little engineers and attach a cup holder of some sort to this push bar, which I think is a little bit better. Right? It looks cooler, kind of design points, brownie points for the judges and stuff. And then fire extinguisher specs. Don't worry too hard about this. I'll get you guys some actual dimensions of the fire extinguisher. I'm pretty sure we have like this exact one in the shop, like the diameter, height,
I
and
might,
weight.
I
You
might
have
have
one
one
of
in the
these?
garage too.
Okay, cool. If you can
I
get the
think it's-
dimensions off that, that would help.
Yeah, I'll make sure it's 2 pound first.
Yeah. Let's see. That is it. Let's find, and I am using not Chrome on purpose so that I don't get a bunch of windows mixed up. Let me show you guys some stuff that I thought was kind of nifty. Okay, so this doesn't show the device that well, but it's kind of a good representation of how it's supposed to be used and how it's supposed to kind of attach to the car. So it's going to definitely go to the roll hoop of the car. It's just a lot easier that way to attach it and take it off of that than having it like clamp or push somewhere down here at an awkward angle, right? So ideally the roll hoop, these support bars leave about 4 to 6 inches of tube above it that we can kind of attach to or slot into. Has an outer or a wide handle for 2 people. It's got enough length to clear the back of the vehicle, plus a little bit of, foot swinging walking distance. And then it's got a little perch for the fire extinguisher, which it looks like it's attached there securely instead of like just resting in something. Something to consider. This is just a push thing. Oh, here's a closer look.
With air horn.
Right, I haven't heard anything about an air horn, but if you want to put like another glove box on here or something. So this is actually a cool idea. This right here. However, Stephen has expressed a heavy interest in me that this thing would also be used to jack up the rear of the car and drag it like so. Can you guys kind of see this orange bar right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the rear jacking point. This is what I need to design this weekend. Like I said, super simple tube, 2 tabs, boom. This needs to be designed. So this thing that lifts the car, this technically jacking device, there's no regulations for that at all. They just leave it up to the teams. You just need to be able to have one. But if we can incorporate this into the device that pushes that, that would be a great help, and it would look really cool on you guys, and you could brag about that for all the years to come.
Able to push it and able to jack it?
Yes. And it would be a lot less clutter in our trailer and all of the stuff we have to take and move around and everything, Let's see if there's other good examples here. Hey, this one looks kind of possibly nifty. I don't know if how it attached to the car, but look, it's wide. It's got this thingy. It's got some wheels on it.
And you can roll it around. You don't have to carry it, or 2 people have to carry it.
Exactly. Oh, look, it's got this little tiny caster down here, so you can carry it in the low position. So there's a bunch of ideas here. I mean, you don't have to stick to exactly one format, but I would like one singular device that can lift up the rear axle of the car, just the rear axle, not the whole car, and something that we can also slot, attach, or whatever without hardware to push the rear of the car.
Now, is there going to be any radiators or any shrouding in the way on the hoop?
There should definitely not be, at least this high. And there's actually rules about having it past these bars anyways. We can take a look at it in the shop tomorrow. I think they already have the radiator and all the hosing and stuff set up, so we can look to see if there's anything in this area that would get in the way. But I want to leave this up to you guys. I can design one, but I've become enormously busy somehow with paperwork and boring stuff. So I want you guys to do some cool stuff. I didn't get to weld like too much outside of like the chassis last year. And I kind of missed, or I kind of wish I had that experience as like a first year and instead of an officer. So I want to give that to you guys. And let's see. Oh, that's just the other one that they showed. If it's actually cool enough, I may have you present in front of the judges. I don't think they judge on it, but if they want to talk about it, you want to talk about it, you want to look good, you know, something to consider. And I don't think they have much more else. It's all up here. What is this? This looks kind of janky. You see how it's really up here and it looks like it can kind of rock side to side. Hopefully we can avoid that. We can get it a little bit further down on here. But you guys all have the chassis file, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you should be able to do this. Like I said, we'll be in the shop tomorrow. We can see if there's anything in the way. But if there's not, you can just have a nice clean chassis file without a bunch of just crap in the background. Just design something and go in there. Keep in mind that the wheels are going to be generally about this size, you know, somewhere between like 4 to 8 inches. If you want to go ahead.
If we open up the chassis file, is there a way to check dimensions without screwing up anything?
Yes. So the kind of de facto, like just rely on everything dimension checker is under evaluate and measure. It's a little tape ruler right here. And you can click one thing and it will measure a bunch of stuff about it. Or you can click, let's see, I'll click this. And then, oh, I need to hold down control, but my dog is on me. Oh, no, center to center distance. And then it also kind of tells you like, oh, this is the area or the perimeter, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But that's just the general like measure stuff. It will not mess with anything.
Okay, so we get the width between the bars and everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit finicky when you try to measure too much stuff or in too weird of a way, but just if you just press escape or hold down control when you're selecting multiple bodies or surfaces or edges or whatever, it should be fine.
Okay.
All right, guys, do you understand that project I'm trying to give to you?
Yes, just need to figure out making a weldment still.
The what?
I said I still just need to figure out making the weldment.
Yeah, so I'll post this video right after. The Zoom takes like an absurd amount of time to process this video for some reason. I don't understand why it's like not like an instant file. Give me like 10 to 30 minutes. I'll have this up on YouTube and I'll make a link for that and I'll put that in the group, okay?
Okay.
So there's not much more I have. I think next week, depending, I should be done with all the stupid paperwork because it's due Monday. We can go into arbitrarily designing the front of the chassis and then putting some weldment tubes on there and then designing the rear of the chassis the following week for SolidWorks. And I'm not going to give you guys specifics. I kind of want you to make your own dimensions. And then I'll give you like the foot template and then the person template. And you can mess around with that and see how your make-believe race car would fit rules, okay?
Sounds good.
So that's all for SolidWorks. Who's going to be able to make it tomorrow at like 12-ish?
I should be there.
Cody, yes?
No, I work and then after I have an exam.
Oh, dang, sorry, man. Like I said, I wanted to do it. I don't know if I told you guys. I wanted to do it Saturday, like the normal schedule, but they decided to have like 2 or 3 days straight of like officer meetings over the weekend to solve all this paperwork stuff. So I'm like, oh, I kind of got moved over. So that's why it's Friday at 12 this week. It should move back to Saturday next week. Nate, you're gonna be there?
Yeah.
Okay. Antonio, you're gonna be there.
No, I have an exam.
An exam. Oh,
Yeah.
school. Ugh. Okay, that's fine. This will be me, Nate. I'm sure Rudy will invite himself again. And Nate, I'm gonna have you do some cutting and welding on some quick jack stuff, okay? I think you know how to weld. You're decent at it.
Yeah. I can stick two pieces of metal together.
All right, just remember the pedal. There's a 0 to 100. It's not just two positions.
Balls to the wall. That's all it
Right?
is.
Okay. Half balls, one ball. Try that. All right, guys. That's all I have for now. If you need some more clarifications or guidance on like that what do you call it? The dolly on the car, the push bar, the rear jacking thing. Let me know. If you need the copy of the chassis file again, let me know. I'll send it to you. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. I will see you guys later.
Hey, on this, I got a question.
Yeah. What's up?
Do you want to like draw us a 2-dimension, then make it like for the jack? Like if you
What do you
draw
mean?
like a SolidWorks in 2 dimensions, or you because like you know how you made your pipe, and like I only know how to extrude it just one way. I don't know how to add to it like multiple pipes, or is it just easier to draw it 2-dimension and then?
It's probably easier to draw most of it 2 dimensions. Just like I think from like the wide bar, the main body, and then the part that goes around the car, like
Yeah,
around the roll hoop, that can be drawn 2 dimensional, and then we can just put weldments over that and turn it into a tube. And then for the 3D sketch to make whatever part comes off of that and provides like a jacking angle for the rear axle,
yeah.
we can go over that later. I really need to kind of go over 3D sketching more, don't I?
On like
On
pipe?
anything. I forget. Have I ever taught you guys a lot about 3D sketching besides use tab to change the angle? I don't think I
Nope.
have.
Crickets? Nope.
Okay, there's not a lot more to it, but I can definitely try to show you some stuff that will hopefully make it easier.
Okay.
So yeah, just work on the main push part, and then for the jacking part on the rear axle, I'll show that to you later, especially after I get that like installed on the car or put into the SolidWorks file. Be a little bit easier to visualize it and get dimensions or like a sense of size or whatever.
Does the jack bar, like, do you, I don't know how to explain it. Like on a motorcycle, it uses a rear stand where you just push it down and it lifts the back of the bike up, and then the bar lays on the ground and it holds the bike up that way? Or is it something that somebody has to hold it?
You have to hold it the whole time.
You have to hold it. Okay.
It's kind of like a cross between like a dolly and like a red little push wagon.
Okay.
So yeah, it's meant to be like you jack it, you hold it, you pull it, and you kind of steer the car with it if you need to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a resting stand like the other quick jack's supposed to be. Although, if you want to design it in a way that somebody could just stand on it and hold the rear of the car up, that's fine too.
There should be enough leverage that they should be able to do that.
Right? Unless they weigh like 40 pounds or something. That should be fine.
It almost looks just like the dolly you use to push around like personal watercraft on the trailer. If you Google that, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's the same concept.
Okay.
It goes up in the ball of the receiver, and then you can just kind of cart the trailer around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. I trust you guys to come up with something cool.
Design ideas.
All right. And like I said, I can have one person do it and I can have everybody do it, and we can have one design or just combinations of multiple designs. It's up to you guys. Or actually, that part's up to me, but it's up to you to give me a good design. And this Zoom meeting is going to cancel in less than 60 seconds. And my wife's going to be home any minute for dinner. So I will see you guys later.
Later.
Adios.